Meal, of course, you know you have a first place battle between the Vikings and the Lions. And for more on that, I turn it over to Elle filling in for David Lloyd. Happy Thanksgiving, beautiful. How are you?
Hi, how you doing? Happy Thanksgiving, Cari.
Wait, hold on. What's your favorite meal? What's your favorite food for Thanksgiving before we get started? In
I'm
all
Southern.
This?
Greens. Hands
Greens?
down. Collard greens.
Not mac and cheese?
Nope, collard greens all day long. If you put your foot in the collard greens, I'm coming back every single year.
Done. Okay, so I'll be flying to Bristol for some of your collards.
Well, they're not that good, Cari. I wouldn't come all the way to Bristol for them.
Okay.
I'll ship them to you. But, you know, and I think you probably agree, right? You cook, right? So you have a cooking game typically on Thursday, a game that you know isn't going to be good, so that's when you're going to make the dressing or the stuffing or whatever you call it. Not really the case this year because they're all good, at least on paper anyway. Take a look at what's at stake.
Off Alabama, but how dominant has Nick Saban's team been this season? Alabama has played 6 ranked opponents this season and have won those games by an average of 23 points. Prior to the Iron Bowl, Saban talked with our Marty Smith about another potential title run in Tuscaloosa. The game for a reason is a rivalry. I don't know if you've gotten that yet. Meanwhile, Michigan tight end Jake Butt went to high school in the Columbus area and can't wait to get on the field at Ohio Stadium about this weekend. He's really excited about the rivalry, but he also knows what it's like to be the, and this is kind of cheesy, excuse me, the butt of the joke. Let us explain.
How Steelers receiver Antonio Brown's prepping for tonight's game in Indianapolis. Maybe you just need your cell phone because we've seen his off-season regimen, the acupuncture, the intense workouts, the custom meals that are made by his personal chef. And that's because Brown offers unprecedented access to his life via Snapchat, while also, of course, marketing a very popular catchphrase along the way. Are going to get a good one today. Huge reason, well, the guy under center. And if you head to Starkville, Mississippi or Houghton, Louisiana, and you ask those closest to Dak Prescott for a single word to describe him, you might hear warrior, competitor, winner, as evidenced by his startling rookie campaign. But as our Jade McCarthy shows us, the legend of Dak Prescott began well before entering Jerry's world. You definitely want to watch that matchup as well because Dez is 1 touchdown away from tying Michael Irvins' all-time franchise record in receiving touchdowns.
And you've got to think they'd love to do it on Thanksgiving.
Wouldn't you love to do that at Dallas at home on Thanksgiving? Michael Irvin, though, may want that record to happen, does not want them to win. His comments this week basically saying he wants Dallas to lose today because he wants them to re-energize, refocus, shake things up a little bit. He doesn't think they should take this winning streak into the playoffs. Now, Tedy, not to remind you, you were on that Patriots team that went undefeated and then lost in the Super Bowl. Right. Is that important to go ahead and get the losing out of the way?
No, you don't. Game, you can still battle back. That's what he thinks a loss would help them with. But if Jason Garrett can get on them enough.
Having to lose a game on Thanksgiving, which they've done quite a bit. In fact, they're trying to avoid their first 3-game losing streak on Thanksgiving since '86 to '89. Tedy Bruschi, you're hanging out all morning with us. Talk a little NFL. We'll get you some turducken, Cari. We'll
forget about it. Then I'm curious. Let's talk about the Friday game that they have
back with the Lakers.
Back with the Lakers at home. D'Angelo Russell out. How does that affect the team?
Well, they've got a lot of other perimeter options, so they're going to next man up, right?
Right.
The thing you worry about...
not scripted here. Everyone's talking about how much more they are exciting. They're fun. They're competitive. We love to watch the Lakers. It's a different team. Is it because, and I asked Ryan Russillo this question yesterday, is it because we've managed our expectations in terms of what we thought they were going to be able to do this season? Are they better than we thought? I feel as if, I'm a diehard Laker fan, I am hopeful.
Yeah.
You're not as hopeful?
No, I'm hopeful for sure for them, and it's going to free them up for a big...
First, folks, so I'm gonna come back to you when it's free agency time.
Okay. We can do that again.
Help me get it all together.
We got a little time for that.
A little bit of time, a bit. Happy Thanksgiving. You're having a turducken, and I'm proud of you.
I just found out what a turducken is.
So you're not having a turducken.
Not so much.
Elle, back to you.
So he's got an embarrassment of riches down there in Tuscaloosa, doesn't he? obviously you're our college football expert, but you had a long career. I'm not going to say how long career or how long
a few
ago
years
in the NFL. 9 years included with Washington. So you've played in this Cowboys, Redskins, Thanksgiving Day. How is the rivalry compared to now as it was back in the day?
Not even close. Back in the 70s,
right?
You know, now you see guys hugging each other,
Snapchatting together.
No. Not back in the day.
None of that.
It was pure hatred because you wanted to beat them and beat them soundly. Because so back in the day, you had to go through Dallas to get to the Super Bowl because they were always the team to beat in the 70s. The Redskins in the early 80s.
Exactly. And I think that's what's missing from this. But today, we do actually have two teams playing for something. I'm not going to call them great. We knew well before today was not going to play, and that's Andrew Luck, concussed, of course. So
yes.
He will not be playing today. How does losing a starting quarterback, we know it affects the offense, but how does it affect defense and even special teams?
I mean, it affects the way coaches call the game, too. Not only, I mean, offensively, I mean, do we need a trick? You got to suppress
one
that
pass
thought.
since 2013.
Yes. And just play your game, but it's hard to do knowing that you probably know you're not going to be able to keep with Roethlisberger and that offense.
It's really hard to not do too much with Twitter around, too, nowadays. Did you see this a couple of days ago? This is pretty funny in regards to this matchup between the Steelers and the Colts. So Pat Monk saying to Earl Thomas, like, thanks for hitting me really hard in the chest.
For 2 weeks, and now you're saying nice job via social media. That's just the definition of how it is, the trash talk and the mutual respect that's really shown a lot through players.
Very quickly before I let you get out of here, you played some Thanksgiving games, and we just heard Mark May kind of talk about playing in Thanksgiving games, and it's not what it used to be. Now they've built it up to be this big, huge thing. What was your experience playing on this day?
I didn't play.
They were both born in the same Toledo hospital 7 months apart, right? Like, they should be cool, and they're not
Yeah, you
cool.
think they'd be close and intimate,
right?
But no, they just arm's length.
So much in common, seemingly. Let's talk about the actual game. Do you think the winner of Michigan-Ohio State is a lock for the playoff, like both prospective fans seem to think they are?
I think if Michigan wins, they're locked because I think they play, obviously, in the Big Ten.
Okay, so we'll see what happens in this huge rivalry game that happens Saturday at noon. We know you have a propensity for violence, so you want to see some head busting.
I came from an old era because I'm an old man.
I like it. You're an old soul, Mark. We're not going to bring up one more time, Cari, how old he is. Right now, though.